Hey folks, welcome back to Verdant Ride. The video you just watched there was me meeting up with Nick and some of his friends. The rider that you see most in that footage was named Cam, and he was really crushing it on a Lift X. And I just needed to start the episode of that because I needed you to see what I saw, because I saw something that completely flipped a switch for me. Nick sent me a text message and said he had a few hours before he had to head into a meeting. And so I get out there and man, there are big waves today. And when I mean big, I mean like some of them had nearly vertical walls. Others were just nice big slanty rollers that it reminded me a lot of skiing, you know, the kind of verts you'd see on things I'm very comfortable with, skiing and snowboarding. And what I really saw though was Nick and his friends riding these waves with the kind of flow and control that were very reminiscent of big powder riding, like mountain skiing, you know, after getting a foot of fresh powder, right? That was the moment that really everything changed for me. So let me paint the picture. I've been struggling out there trying my hand at wave riding, and I've been getting crushed by these waves of all different sizes. And had a few, you know, scares where you get hit by multiple waves and kind of fighting for air a little bit here and there. So, you know, Nick comes comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, how's the trip been?" And I tell him I've been struggling. He goes, "All right, let's ride one together. I'll guide you in." And so we motor out, and he says, "Hey, we're gonna jump on that one right there." And I look back, and I don't see anything. But then, in just a few seconds, suddenly, where I saw nothing, builds this big ass wave, right? And and then suddenly we are on top of it. Like our placement's perfect. And as this wave builds under my feet, um, I get to the point where like you can't quite see the bottom past the tip of your board, sort of a deal. And Nick is right next to me. I can hear him. I can hear him perfectly clearly, right in my left ear. And he says, "All right, step back in the board a bit." So I do. "Okay, veer left a bit," he says. So I do. Now I'm riding towards where the wave will start to collapse. And he says, "Let go." And I do. And that board, as soon as I drop that throttle, it starts going fast, right? And down in this left-handed position, like kind of towards Nick. And then he carves under and around me, like beneath me on the wave. He's like, "All right, head this way." So I turn the board. I'm still off throttle. And I just come screaming down this front and carve right into the wave. And right behind my heels, I feel the wave, like the wind of the wave splashing in behind me, right? I don't know how far ahead of the white I am, but I'm close enough to like feel it, hear it, right behind me. But I am cruising. We're going pretty fast now, uh, toward the end of this wave, and it was awesome. And that was the first time I really felt like I rode a good wave and did it well, right? And it was that I needed to hear a few of those things. Like I needed someone to help me find it, like where to be. And I needed someone to tell me, "Hey, step back a little bit. You're riding forward like I do when I race, like my Lift 5 Pro." And I needed someone to say, "Turn into this and now turn out of it," right? At the right time. Because I wouldn't have done that normally. I probably would have tried to go straight down and just not get crushed by it. Like I want to stay in front of it. Don't stay in front of it. Be in the right place at the right time. That's a big deal. And that's a thing I'm going to need to learn. And learning it is going to take time, right? I'm going to need to spend a lot of hours learning how to identify and time waves out in different conditions and under different winds and things like that. And it's just going to need to be one of those things that I spend a lot of time doing for me to get great at it. Even though like it was just one wave, in that moment, it showed me what was possible and it really lit a fire. I realized that this wave riding on a lift X isn't something I might get into. This is something I'm going to chase. I'm going to chase it hard because it connects everything that I love. It's got the carving rhythm of skiing, the terrain reading and instincts of snowboarding, the glide and the grace of eFoiling. Only now, it's all going to be in waves. And it's three-dimensional, and it's like, it's going to give me what I want out of warm weather traveling, which my family totally loves, right? But I'm often bored on these trips, man. I don't have enough to do. Whereas when we go on ski trips, I ski all day. I'm great. Like that's what I love to, be into something I'm really good at and be competent at, feel secure about it and safe about it, but be able to hit it as hard as I want. And that is, if I can get good at this, that means all of our warm weather travel, as long as we go to some place that's friendly to eFoils and has waves, I can make that work for me now. Because my family would, a lot of them, like they're happy spending their time on a beach, sipping Mai Tais and reading novels and stuff. And for me, that's just way too boring. So if I can turn my warm weather trips into ski trips, my life's going to change in a sense. Really be looking forward to these trips, and I'll be more willing to take them more often. This will give me the thing that I want out of a vacation. And you know what? I'm also kind of looking ahead here. Like someday I will retire. And when I do, I fully intend to snowboard. I cannot live the rest of my life in the worst 3 months of a Minnesota weather year after year. It's just, that's too much. It's too much being cooped up inside. I want to be active. I want to be doing something that lights me up. I want to be doing something that keeps me in shape. I want to be doing something that keeps me sharp, that keeps me curious, that keeps me learning, that keeps me exploring. So, wave riding on Lift X, man, it really, it checks every box. So this is the start, and this is the spark, this trip that I took. So I'm talking about dedicating a full month next year, next winter, to relocating myself somewhere where I can get access to big waves and ride them every single day. I don't know how many videos it's going to take to cover, but I've already started to compute the logistics, the budget, what's actually going to take to make this happen. Luckily, I can do my job from anywhere, so I shouldn't even need to take a leave of absence. I should be able to ride aboard 4 times a day and still be able to show up at work every day and not really miss any time. And so I'm looking at different locations I could go. Puerto Rico is definitely on that list. Having access to Nick Leason and Lyft will be very helpful. There's no doubt about it. But I am keeping my mind open as to other places I can go. Puerto Rico has some downsides too, in the sense like I won't be able to drive there. I won't be able to drive my gear there. So I'm going to have to ship it there. And that's not that big of a deal, but like I'm going to need to do that. I'll need to rent a car. I'll need access to wheels big enough for me to take my board with me, which adds an expense to the trip that I wouldn't need to face if I just drove my car down to Florida and found a place to rent. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to hear from you guys, my audience. Is a month enough time? Now, I really think that it is. I think it's more than enough time to get competent at wave riding for me. Just given my background, what experience I have on board sports, how long it took me to get great at eFoiling in smooth water, how much I go, how fast I learn board sports. Yeah, so I think that's enough time. But where should I go? I want to hear from you guys. Where do you think I should go? Where's the best place for me to go? And what other things maybe I'm not considering? Because like basically I just went to GPT and I'm like, hey, Verdant Ride GPT, let's plan out this trip. What'll it cost to rent a place for a month? What'll it cost to rent a car for a month? What'll it cost to eat for a month? What'll it cost? What are my flights likely going to be? What's the best month to go? What other things do I need to consider? How big of a place do I need? How many people are going to visit me while I'm there? All this stuff. How am I going to guarantee the internet fast enough to do work? How am I going to manage my time to get out a video of me learning? Because I do want to shoot this whole thing as much as I can to show my progression. Kind of in real time. I think that'll be interesting to see how quickly I can pick this up and add it to my skills, my sports skill set. I do believe that this is worthy of learning because I do think this is another one of those things I think I should be able to do for the most part for the rest of my life. Like if I can get good enough at it, I see myself skiing and snowboarding for the rest of my life. I don't see any reason why eFoiling waves couldn't be a big part of the rest of my life. So I think it's worth it. This is like an investment that I'm willing to make in myself to add something that I just feel like is going to add a ton of enjoyment to what I do and open where I can travel with my family to more places. It's just more adventure, more exploring. I think this is going to be good. I think I'm going to enjoy the heck out of it. So what do you guys think? I want to hear from you on this show. I want to hear a lot of feedback on this. Let's hear. Where should I go? What should I do? What should I plan for? What's the dumb idea why this doesn't work? Tell me what I'm not thinking about that's like this is folly. I want to hear that too. All right. That's it. Verdant Ride out. Talk to you guys soon.